Holy mackerel socks. Michael, we are coming in hot off the presses, baby cakes. We're going to come in swinging like Babe Ruth. Today, we're going to be talking about this icky, nasty little thing called, why do I have to work so hard in real estate? I thought it was like the TV and movies. Like, I just get listings and I get paid. I drive around in Mercedes. I wear expensive clothes. I go to nice lunches. I drink champagne from nice crystal flutes for lunch. My clients love me. There's never any infighting. Everyone respects me. What is going on in my life, Michael? Why am I not getting that?
Greg, it's so good to see you as always. It's so exciting. And, you know, I think in all fairness, we have to draw this out and let people know that I came to you and I said, Greg, I'm working too hard.
Yes, he did.
This is a job. And I come to you because I feel like I need to get support and have a support group and a team of people that are there to help me through this. And I was really hoping that what you were going to say is, Michael, you're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
It's supposed to be hard. And instead you said, Michael, it's work. What'd you expect? But I think that's what we're talking about today, Greg, is we're going to talk about why people need to follow what Greg McDaniel tells them to do.
Yes.
Even though they, one, don't want to do it.
No.
Two, it is work.
Yes.
And three, and this is the important part, it's a lot of work.
And it's not going to stop, Michael. It's not going to stop. Technology can come along and help us walk hand in hand, like like a child, an elementary school kid on a walk outside of the school grounds with parental guardians. But at the end of the day, guys, you made a decision. All jokes aside, you made a choice. You said, "Okay, I'm going to do this type of industry." And I'm going to do real estate because I can make a lot of money. I like people and I love homes. That's literally the answers I get every single time when I ask people, why did you choose this bone crushing, meat grinding industry? Because I love people. I really like houses. Okay, congratulations. That's not going to sustain you. Why did you get into this business? What's your why? What's your reason? What's your issue? Like, what is pushing you at midnight or 3 o'clock in the morning? I don't know. Yeah, there's a serious freaking problem. Because the number one thing you need to do, Michael, is immediately understand what's going to be on those bad days. You lose a listing, a buyer contract falls out, a deal explodes at the very last second because the buyer went and bought a fifth wheel and completely screwed up their credit 2 days before they were going to buy this new house. And you want to just go bananas. Yeah, exactly. Just wait, delay the purchase. Yeah. But those days, what's your why? So, Michael, let's go back to you. What is your driving why?
So let's talk about why a lot of people get into the industry first, Greg. I think a lot of agents.
What's your why?
Hear me out. Okay. A lot of agents get into real estate because they know somebody that wants to sell or buy something. And they're like, this is easy money, right? I had a great job. I was vice president of technology for a very large real estate company. I've founded real estate companies. I've been doing this for 30 years. And I said, you know what? You're going to love this one, Greg. My why is I said, real estate can't be that hard. Look at all these people that are doing it and they're making a lot of money. I said, how hard could it be?
How hard is it?
Okay. So then I got old. And I decided to do this full time. And I think that when you ask how hard is it, it's way harder than I thought. And it requires way more consistency than I ever would have imagined. I think when I used to sit through your training, and I used to take Greg's training, just so everybody knows, I would take what Greg told me, I would put it into proper English, and I would create presentations so that Greg could stand up in front of people. And, just because sometimes you have to mess with Greg, I would put in slides that he wasn't expecting, but that's okay, right? He was able to go with the flow. But I would listen to his training, and you all know that he said, take these business cards.
25 of them.
25. He said 25. I think for me, he said 5. because
Said
I remember
25.
throwing away whatever it was. I took them and I threw them in the trash. I said, I'm not going to go do this, because the minute I walked around and started knocking on doors and getting rejection, it became real work to me. And I think, Greg, that's the part that I want to talk about today, is that this isn't a 9-to-5 job.
Nope.
And it's not even a 5-day-a-week job or 40 hours a week. It's about more than that. And what I'd like to do is go back, and our training used to be called Agents in Motion. I would like to chat about Agents in Motion for a second and remind people, you used to show us a calendar of how you structured your week. So can you give me a feel for what your week looks like when you are fully engaged in the real estate business?
Yeah, fully engaged in the business. At my craziest level, I was out of bed by 3:30 in the morning. I would then go. So if it's 3:30, I would be at the gym by 4. I would do a pre-workout, then do a real workout, then do a cool down. So 2 hours later, I would be heading back to my house. So that'd be 6 a.m. Quickly shower. I would be in the car heading to the office by 6:15, more like 6:30 if I'm being real. But showering, cleaning up, getting dressed, so on and so forth. Get in the office. I was always the first one in. I would turn on the coffee maker, get my computer going. I would start reading, listening to different books like Audible and stuff like that, getting some stuff in my head, listening to different podcasts, kind of getting grooving. And then my day would start. I would start recording around 7:30-ish in the morning. So I'd record for about 30 minutes. So I'd be at 30 minutes in the morning. Then I would book out my day, and I would always plaster it, like if there was dead time on my calendar, I would put in like prospecting. It was always bright red. It was prospecting, calls, doors, emails. When video really became a thing, which, by the way, Michael, I found some of our original videos when I was going through YouTube the other night. Oh my, horrible. Oh my God. So guys, trust me, there's hope for everybody out there. But I would run my schedule I would give myself 10-minute breaks between appointments, give or take, restroom, grab lunch, something like that. And then I would run all the way until about 7 or 8 o'clock every night, Monday through Friday, because I would do a free coaching call starting at 6 and to run to 7 or 8. And then I would clean up and do it all over again. So my calendar was never empty. There was always something to do, especially now with the rampant use of cell phones, iPhones, Androids, whatever, and going out there and filming. You have mobile, opportunities to create content literally wherever you are, and then upload it using CapCut if you want to do some edits, or using Opus Clip if you want to, cut out little, reels or shorts or anything like that. Constantly being in front of people, talking about your day. I mean, there's so much you can do now that you couldn't do 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 15 years ago. And so I think when it comes to scheduling, be very, very proactive on your scheduling. Protect your time like it's the most important asset on earth, because it really is. And so when it comes to generating business and really getting in front of folks, it's not an overnight success. You have to get your head wrapped around that. It's going to take time. It's going to take effort. It's going to take blood. It's going to take tears. It's going to take sweat. It's going to be farting annoying, because you're going to be like, I'm working my butt off, but I can't do anything as fast as much as I want to. Now, for you guys that are listening to this, Michael just pulled up, I believe that's your calendar, is it not?
That's your calendar, baby.
Oh my
5
God,
a.m.
the old one.
7:30. This is the first day of Agent in Motion class. This was the presentation you put together, and you had a 5 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. workout. And Greg,
Yep.
I think you're still a pretty fit guy, but I want y'all to know that Greg was downright skinny back in the day.
I was skinny.
He
I was really skinny.
hustling up. He was like scrawny, looked like he needed to get
Eat
a meal.
Eat a
I
burger
was
and drink a beer.
I always assumed it was because you weren't selling enough real estate, couldn't afford to eat.
No. All right. But you can see my schedule here that it's jam-packed, including even on Saturday. I mean, I didn't let anything get between the cracks in myself and success. But that's the thing, Michael. When it comes to this not being a real job, if you honestly believe that, please, and I mean this with all sincerity and kindness, please get out of the industry.
Yeah.
Literally go do anything else. I mean, literally anything else. Because
Literally
you're going to do 2 things.
anything.
You're going to drive yourself nuts. You're going to drive your family and your partner nuts, and you're just going to really not like what you're doing. Then that builds resentment. That builds anger. Then there's infightings between your partnerships in business or personal, kids. Fill in the blank. Just go chase a passion. And I don't care if you want to be a surfer that lives in Costa Rica and runs a slushy shack on the coast. Follow your passion. That's the most important thing. Michael, you're going through the old AIM docs I see down below off
the old AIM ones, and I wanted to bring up another one of these slides because I think that this is as relevant today as it was then. Okay, 10 ways that you can improve your time management. And guys, I don't even think this is about time management. I think this is about life management. Greg used to tell us, delegate tasks. And by the way, this is the presentation that Greg made, which is why there are bullets and numbers.
They're horrible, guys. They're horrible.
Okay, but this was also 10 years ago. Okay, number one, delegate tasks. This is a life skill. If you don't know how to delegate, start reading some books, start delegating. Prioritize work. I think this is extremely important as you go through day to day, that you put these things and you put work first. Okay. Avoid procrastination. Okay. I'm a key at this one. It's so easy to get lost in TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and you're doom scrolling. And next thing you know, it is gone. Your day is gone.
Yep.
Greg used to tell us schedule tasks. This has now become a modern prophecy fulfilled. Everybody is scheduling tasks. And if you aren't, I'm going to encourage you right now. If you have something to do that is important to you, put it into your calendar instead of a to-do list or in addition to a to-do list. There are plenty of tools out there that are doing this for you now so that you can slide that around. Because if you don't take that 15, 30, 45-minute time to actually get that task done, you're not going to get it done. Avoid stress. Go ahead.
Avoid stress. Continue. No, avoid stress. Yeah. I cut you off. Go ahead.
Avoid stress. This is a great one. Okay. This is work. It does not have to be stress. Greg and I were talking about this the other day. Nobody has ever died because you didn't rush to get something done, right? You need to schedule. You need to not procrastinate, and you need to do what you say. I'm going to just get through this, and Greg, and then I want to talk about it. Set up deadlines. Don't let yourself lag on things. Avoid multitasking. This is to a point. This industry requires multitasking. You've got to be able to work and drive. You've got to be on the phone all the time. If there's anything that Greg has taught me and that we want to teach you as part of this, is that use your downtime. When you're in the car, listen to a book. If you don't want to be on the phone, be on the phone calling people and just saying, hey, use the Terry McDaniel approach, the OG, and just call people. They don't have to know where you are. You can say, hey, I'm driving by your house while you're in another state. They will not know the difference, but they're going to know you care. Just make sure that they live in the same house that they used to. So you're not, they don't say, oh, which house? And you're like, oh, I don't know.
The one I sold you.
The one I sold you. Okay. Start early, stay late. I think this one is less important. I think you need to be effective with your time. But I do think number 10, Greg, this was ahead of its time. Okay.
Thank you.
Learn to say no. Yeah. There are certain things you can't do. And here is a great example. Okay. When you're getting leads, we have the ability to help people with rentals. But if you get Joe Schmo calling you off the street and they want a rental, learn to say no. There's no money in that. And a lot of people will say, wait, you can come in. A lot of people will say, but that renter could become a buyer. Okay. do a little bit of pre-qualification and see if they can afford, are they just getting into a rental because they're trying to find something to buy? There are a lot of scenarios, but for most people, you need to learn to say no.
You do, but like you said, you preferenced it in regards to the fact that you need to kind of go do a little bit of your own mental homework. Is this person for real? They kind of how they interact and they looking to engage, or they're not looking to engage with me, so on and so forth. Guys, there's been multiple stories about the facts that, folks, I was speaking with the Altman brothers in Australia a couple of years ago, and they were talking about the fact that one of the times they're holding like a $25 million open house or something like that, brokers tour, and this guy showed up. And he was straight out of the 80s. We're talking like the windbreaker, the fanny pack, the old Trans Am that was kind of busted. And he's cruising up to this $25 million home. And one of the Altmans, I'm not going to say which one, told the other one, go, hey, bro, I'm not going to deal with this. You deal with it. And the other Altman's like, I'll deal with it. So he goes over, says, hey, man, how are you? My name's so-and-so. Welcome, blah, blah, blah. Did this song and dance, right? Long story short is the fact is this. The guy was richer than God, and he dressed up like a hobo because he was tired of everyone just coming after his money. So he wanted to see who was real about it. So that's the only cautionary tale I would say on that, is just really do the homework. But I want to show you something very, very quickly. This is something we were talking about: jars, sand, rocks, right? This is the perfect imagery of what priorities are. The big rocks on the jar on the left, those should have been at the bottom of the jar, just like the jar on the right. Now, why is that important? The big rocks are the big priorities in life. The smaller rocks are the smaller priorities in life. The sand is what fills in around those rougher edges where you can fit the time. Then what they don't have in this one, then you take it after you fill it up with rocks and sand, then you take a cup of water and you fill it in even more. Now everything's consolidated. There's not an inch of space not being used, right? But then you crack a beer and you enjoy the beer and you put it right on top. Now the beer is purely because you need a little rest after all that work. But the imagery is there. Prioritize your tasks, fill in the filler shit, right? Then take the water, break it all down, make it all work together, then have a beer on top. So, okay. Michael, let's go into the next slide that you have built for us, because I know you're going through the AIM programs. By the way, we're going to bring back AIM, and we are going to bring it back 2.0 or 3.0, because we're going to make this thing look awesome sauce for you guys.
Okay, so the next part that I want to show off here, Greg, and I think this is important, is God, the business hasn't changed. What people do to get business hasn't changed at all.
No, you just have to do it.
When you look at this, what were you talking about, Greg? This is actually day 2. So the first day was get in there, but we talked about pros from day 1. Now we went in and talked about where do you find listings? Where do you find prospects? And this is where Greg told us, go get your cards and hand them out.
Yeah, okay. Go get the cards. Guys, here's the cool thing. Michael, let's take this from 10 years ago or 15 years ago, however long ago that was made. These iPhones and these smartphones we have were not as powerful back then. Social media was not as prevalent as it is now. I mean, if not on it, you're basically dead to the world and your clients. Here's the coolest thing. Michael, do you want me to give you the best piece of advice that I think you're going to love that you'd never have to do again if you don't want to?
I don't have to cold call.
You don't have to hand out 25 business cards anymore. Do you want to know what you can do instead? Oh, and it's free, by the way. And you can do it at front door. You can do it without having to leave your house. You can break through gates. You can get through barriers.
Okay.
And you can have conversations. All while sitting in air conditioning.
I'm listening.
You create a long form video or longer form. So let's say for you, it's 3 to 5 minutes. Yep. Got a subject matter. You go to Opus Clip. You have it clipped up, or you go to Discord or whoever you like, right? You cut it up and you have it into little clips. And you push it to all your social media, little shorts, right? 30 to 60 seconds, somewhere in there. Then you watch it, you let it percolate. Now, everybody that looks, views, comments, reacts to that video is an opportunity for you to spark a conversation. Michael, hey man, thanks so much for watching my video about, the cat chasing the laser. LOL. Hey brother, been a long time. Let's get together. I'm buying coffee. Where do you want to meet? How's your week look? Meow. Over to you. Do that 25 times a day. The algorithm's going to build up. It's going to know that you're being friendly and social. It's social media, right? Be social. Don't talk at me. Talk to me. Talk with me. Right? That's all you have to do. Like there's agents in LA that I've been following for a while, and they follow me. And there's one chick, very nice gal. Now, I've never met her, but she was doing something. Woman. Oh,
not chick.
It's okay. This agent in LA, we started talking about wholesaling and flipping and what areas are working for her, blah, 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 what's for me. And a conversation started. Never met her in my entire life. I'd probably walk past her. I would see her big. Oh, that chick, look, that woman looks familiar. See, I corrected myself. Sidestep that landmine. And it's the coolest, easiest thing to do. They can't say no to you, Michael. They can't shut the door on you. The only thing they're going to do is not respond. But guess what? The algorithm already saw that you interacted and they interacted with you, which is going to serve you up more. Now you become more relevant. There you go. There's the 3.0 version of handing out business cards. Still hand them out, though, by the way.
Okay, so now let's talk, because we were ahead of our time. Let's talk about one of the things that I will still preach to this day. 48% of people never follow up. Ever. And Greg, I got to argue. I would bet you that the number in real estate is way higher.
I would probably agree with you on that.
And I want you to talk a little bit about what follow-up means to you.
Are you sure you want me to go down this rabbit hole?
I do.
You're going to be involved.
I know.
All right. So let's go back to the handing out the cards. Did you ever go up and follow up with the one lady that you talked to at the door?
No, I didn't.
All right. So
but I have a good reason.
Guess what category you fall in?
But I have a very good reason.
No, she just didn't what she didn't like your offer that you were offering at that moment. Doesn't mean that life wouldn't shift at a certain point to stay in communication, especially since she was a neighbor of yours.
No, she died.
Oh, well, you could have led with that one. Okay, so she passed.
I did not get the family listing either.
That's what I was going to say. Imagine if your card was on the, quote unquote refrigerator with the magnet, with the card, with all the mailers.
It wasn't.
That's a $50,000. And everyone says about real estate, which cracks me up, is like, oh, it's so easy. Anybody can do it. I said, yeah, pretty much a monkey with a, with a pulse can do our job. But it's not about doing the job. It's about building the relationships and staying consistent and relevant and helpful to the other people in the community and the people you've worked with and your future clients. It's being a human being that makes you stand out. Once you figure out what that is for you, there's nothing that's going to stop you ever.
Now, a lot of people out there are probably saying, Greg, why? Follow up? Why? What are we doing? We had a slide for that too.
Yes, we did. We have slides for all kinds of shit.
Do you remember this slide?
Yeah, of
because
course.
I think these numbers are still very relevant, right?
Yeah.
And this is salespeople in general. This is not real estate. I think the numbers are a little different for real estate, but 25% of salespeople make only a second effort. That means that 75% are making one try. They're handing their card, pop, here you go, and then never coming back.
Running away.
Only 1 in 10 make more than 3 attempts.
Yep. That's why the systems are now the CRMs that are so well built, that do a lot of automatic, email, phone call, text, then you do a phone. Actually, you have to do a phone call. Stop by Popeyes. You can go to PopeyeIdeas.com and you guys can go in there and take a look at what to bring with a script to pop by and see your past clients and current clients, friends, and neighbors on a monthly, quarterly basis. Again, it's Pop by Ideas. It's free. Go take a look at it. Mhm.
Greg, I want to solidify what you're saying here, because before you go into the pop by, the client that I toured properties, $1.2 million house that we toured last night, didn't end well, but that's beside the point. This lead was given to me 6 months ago by one of my fellow agents who did not serve that market. I have been sending them emails and texts for 6 months.
That's good. That's really good.
He finally called me and said, "Hey, you sent me this one property. Can I go see it?"
Michael, you fall in the 80% category.
I use tools. I use AI.
You do, and that's the important thing. You can rig this thing any way that you want.
Yep.
But you are the person that between the 5th and the 12th contact, that's where 80% of the sales are done. And Michael, you did that. You did the hard work. And now, yeah, there is, that little stigma in regards to like, well, what if they don't like me? If it doesn't work out, why should I waste my time? Because you know what? If you don't do it, somebody else is going to trip, fall, and land right in that seat where they're going to get paid after you did all the work because you stopped at the last second. Do you really want to be that person? No, you don't. I can answer that for you. Never stop until they tell you to take a long walk off a short pier. Keep following up. What do you got, Michael? I see you bumping around over there. You get some more
bumping around looking. I think we talked about the CMA. We talked about title. Just so you all know, we did talk about the OG.
T. Diddy, the Grandmaster.
So we did talk about that. I think we talked about the tools and how to get stuff out there and how to get partners. I mean, I think that what's interesting to me, and the data looks old, because this was many years ago.
10 plus years ago. Easy 10, 12 years ago.
I think the reality here is that, the business hasn't changed. And Greg, what we had come in to talk about today is that it's work. I think that's the part that hasn't changed, right? If you're going to do this well, you need to be engaged. Now,
you have to be intentional.
You have to be intentional. And back in the day, and you have to imagine, so I think Greg had a computer, but he stacked it right next to his paper notepad and an abacus. So we went through this, and he was talking about social media. And guys, this isn't a lot different today than it was then, right? We talked about things. There were many people. Okay.
By the way, those numbers have surged significantly.
What's interesting is I can't even remember what year this was, but TikTok's not even on this list. Okay.
No.
And social networking is huge. Video wasn't on this list. Okay. We talked about trends. 73% of online adults now use social networking sites. 73%. Everybody uses it.
Yeah, it's 100% now.
It's 100%. Okay. We talked about marketing, 52x, or the average increase in reach. Okay. I would tell you, Greg's doing a project for his personal life on the side, and I see Greg's TikToks every single day. Okay. I see ours. I don't go on TikTok very often. I see the ones that he posts for RE Geeks, and I'm like, hey, that's me. I like being first to comment. But those things are all there. And it's like, here I am. Back then, we were talking about Facebook ads. We were talking about Twitter long before X. We were talking about Google Plus, now long gone.
That's no.
Okay. We were talking about people doing things on Pinterest, and I still think Pinterest is a great under-leveraged tool for people. And especially for those of you that like interior design, go put that information out there. YouTube should have been up at the top here. I think YouTube is.
Michael, hold on. I gotta break in, dude. You said something that just rattled my brain. You can go to oceansofpdf.com. And going back to the whole Pinterest idea, Michael, this is thanks to you just talking about it, just brought this up. You can go to oceansofpdf.com and you can go get interior design magazines. You can go get books. You can go get PDFs of almost anything that you want. So what you can do is you can go to and get an interior design thing or a garden thing or whatever your shtick is, right? Maybe it's lakes or boating or camping or whatever, right? You get and you start posting. You can get the PDF version. You can post it on Pinterest with a link back to your website so that people, when they click on it, goes back to your residential website where you can house, or a different landing page or something where you can house information where they can see who you are. You can drop a landing page there. They can sign up for additional, information about the plants, the boats, the gardens, the whatevers. Now you have a lead magnet where you can really be relevant to someone who wants to talk about how to plant a petunia, right? Great. Now you're my new buyer or seller.
All right. So, Greg, can we talk for a second about the importance
Do not bring that slide up.
of a current and relevant photo?
Hey, this is
how do I make this one big?
Yes, I have Dumbo ears and I look like
guys. This one on the right is the Greg McDaniel that is here.
Yes, a long time ago. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Those are some ears, buddy.
Yeah, I can actually take off and land with those suckers.
So
about the photo.
Make sure, yeah, we all did. So, hey, I think, Greg, there's some other stuff that's important. As we look at this, we talk about what's out there now. I'm not sure how many people are on Facebook today, active and monthly. Okay.
Billions.
YouTube, Google Plus is no longer here. LinkedIn, there's Twitter now, X,
SoundCloud. Tumblr. Is Tumblr still around?
Tumblr is still around.
Oh, okay.
Pinterest and Insta. I think growth is exponentially greater than it was. So social media is the number one activity on the web. This still holds true. It was true back then. It's more than ever true right now. Okay, people get their news. YouTube reaches more U.S. adults than any cable network. And I believe to this day, it is actually more than all cable networks combined. Okay.
I would 100% believe that. Here's the reason why, Michael, because I don't watch cable news. My parents love to watch it. I don't. I take all of my information through social media.
Dude, I don't have a TV. Okay, fastest growing demographic back when we were talking about this is Twitter with the 55 to 64-year-old age bracket. I think since it's moved to X, that's probably become a 64 to 80. Yep. But there are 100%. Still young people there. It is less conservative every day, but the demographic is still growing. Okay.
I actually think I pulled these stats back for 2013, honestly, because that said 2012. Because I know I went back. I had to go back 1 year because I didn't have the stats. So this is all information from 2013.
Okay, 93% of marketers use social media. I think that's now 100%.
Mm-hmm. It's AI kicked in, and it's 100% without a doubt.
And what I really think happened here is 93% of marketers in 2012 were using it. The 7% that weren't are gone. Right? Those people are no longer here because you just can't. I think that this is important to know. 68% of Instagram users are female. 70% of Google Plus were male. I think that in most cases, and Greg, I don't have current numbers. We should probably get some current numbers.
We're going to rerun this whole thing and do a whole presentation.
Yeah.
But guys, keep in mind the AIM program that I built is a month-long program with two 3-hour days a week to get all this content out. So this is a long program.
Yeah. But I think what holds true here before we go on is we got to come up with the number of female versus male buyers, because
it's going to be heavier on female.
It's going to be heavier on females. And I think when it's a husband and wife that go in, it's still the female buying.
Chuck, what link?
The PDF link. Put the PDF link up there, Greg.
PDF link.
World of what did you call it? World of PDF or?
Oh, that one. Okay,
that one. So
Michael, keep going. I'm going to get this one.
Yep. Okay. 41% of internet users who make more than 50,000 per year on Pinterest. Okay.
No.
That's irrelevant now. You can't live on 50,000 a year almost anywhere. All right. So YouTube statistics for 2013. Okay, it's the second largest search engine in the world. It is now by far the first largest. Okay, Greg, just
Mike,
in case.
I gotta grab the door. You run this for 1 second. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'll be right back.
Okay, there he goes. So, looking at this, YouTube has quickly become the #1 search engine, and the #1 search term is still how to. So if you are looking for how-tos, you are going to end up on YouTube. Okay, why should you use YouTube? The numbers back then were huge. They're even bigger now. It's 50x easier to get a video to rank on the first page of Google if you have a video that goes with it. Okay. And that's still pretty much true. 40% of people respond to visual information better than plain text. I think nowadays that number is much higher as well. So this goes on and on. It was pretty interesting. We did a lot of talk about YouTube and how to get business on YouTube. And I think we need to keep focusing on getting video out there, because the other thing I want to remind you about video, and part of the reason that Greg and I both love doing this, is the video doesn't go away. If you create a YouTube video today, it's going to be there tomorrow. It's going to be there next month. It's going to be there next year. I have some videos of Greg that I need to put back on YouTube. I had closed the channel down where he looks amazing. He used to wear these super tight shirts, dress shirts. Those were really tight, Greg, even for then.
Dude, they were custom shirts, and I was thinner, so it worked out well. It didn't look like I was wearing a circus tent around all day long.
It looked like he was wearing a nylon.
Okay, moving forward, Mr. Castro. Moving forward.
All right. So, Greg, I think we get it. People are using YouTube, and we're using technology, and they're treating this like a job. We're coming up on that 40-minute mark. So I think the importance of this show, what we were trying to explain to you guys, that one, the technology hasn't changed. It's gotten better. The names have changed. We have TikTok. We have Opus Clip to help with the process. But overall, what people have to do day in, day out has not changed from the presentation that Greg had to do 15 years ago. Okay, 15 years. This industry is not changing. It was work then, and it's work now. And if you put in the work, you are going to get the rewards. And I think, go ahead, Greg.
But putting in the work, Michael, is the hardest part, because and this is not me joking around. It requires you to show up every single day, work like there's no tomorrow. And you know what? You're going to have really shitty days.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you this. Really shitty days.
Yep.
But you have to remember the good days and keep going. And you have to have that why. We're going to circle all the way back to the original part of this conversation of what is your driving why? What is that reason why you get up on a rainy day and you go show homes?
Yeah.
Why are you showing a house, 2 days before Christmas to someone 45 minutes away from you? Because you have something that gets your ass out of bed every day. It could be you're supporting your family. It could be a health concern. It could be an elderly parent. It could be feeding your ego, and you have to be better than your ex, and you have to show them that they missed out. It could be whatever.
Could be
then
commission.
You execute and you move forward on it. Well, hold on. A very funny story. Then we'll talk about commissions very fast. I was kind of a chunky monkey, a little flabby flab, and super white, like mayonnaise white, right? And I broke up with a chick, and I broke up 15 plus years ago, 17 years ago, a long time ago. Saw a photo of myself. I was horrified what I looked like without my shirt on. So I made a decision, Michael. And my why was this. I made a decision. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to hit the gym every single morning. I'm going to be ripped. I'm going to be tan. I'm going to be just plickety plow, right? I'm going to run into her in a bar, and she's going to regret it. It actually happened.
Oh,
it
no.
actually happened. I was out with my buddies one night, and we're hitting this bar up in this city that we like to go to. And my buddy's like, dude, that's so-and-so. That's so-and-so. That's so-and-so. And I'm like, fucking game on. And I'm like, hey, so-and-so, how you doing? And the look on that individual's face was like, holy crap, I screwed up. Here's the fun thing. You can do that in business. You could, that person that tried to kick you out of their territory, like, this is my area. It's like, really? Do you have all the deeds? Yeah, you do own all the properties? If so, I'll leave. But if not, shut it. Show people that you're valuable and never stop, because the commissions are nice. But staying persistent and consistent and showing up for somebody in the dark day when they're having a rough one, going through a hard time in life, but you show up and help them, that's what this business is about. And that will push you forward.
100%. All right, Greg, we're up against that window. So I am going to start by saying thank you, everyone, for showing up. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe. Even if you hate us, we would appreciate that. You never know. We're an equal opportunity show. Greg, sign us off. Let's take this home.
All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, you're amazing human beings. I love each and every one of you. We cannot do this without you. So thank you for hanging out with us. If you like us, share it with somebody, talk about it, get more people on here. We will respond. And if you guys have any content you want us to cover, let us know and we'll make it happen. All right, guys, until next time, boom. Peace. Love ya. We gone.
Peace.